Okay, friends, although there are very few people, there are 2 more minutes to go. We can start answering questions. Listen. Are there any questions? Good morning. Okay. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Bhante.
Yeah,
Morning, Bhante.
good morning. Morning. You have any question? James Hahn to everyone. I'm waiting to hear your question. If you have a question, you can write on the chat box. Okay.
Bhante, we have a question from Kalina.
Yeah?
Kalina asked, do we have to practice all 6 elements in one meditation session?
Okay. 6 elements
I think the question is...
in one meditation sessions. Yes, because these 6 elements are always working therefore we have to use all of them. For instance, earth element, water elements, heat elements, air elements, space elements, consciousness elements. They don't take turns to change. They all change at the same time while you are breathing in and out. You know, even the breath is moving in while changing, and it reaches our lungs while changing, and then it comes out while changing. While it is happening, your elements, the breath itself is made up of 4 elements: earth, water, air, fire elements. And breath goes through a space, nostrils, lungs, and so forth. There are spaces. And then as the breath is, these spaces are filling up with the breath and blood cells, they change. So space element changes, feeling, what you call earth, water, air, fire element changes, and you are fully conscious of all this time, and therefore your consciousness is changing. Since they all are changing, you become aware of all of them. But the thing is that you don't say anything in words. You simply become aware of them, and as your awareness, the consciousness becomes clearer and clearer, you will see the details, you will see them changing, all of them. The problem is that you cannot put your finger on one particular element at any time. That's the difference. Otherwise, you have to focus your mind or meditate. Meditation here means becoming fully aware of them. Okay? Next question.
Venerable Bhante, Nanji wants to know why do we focus on the asubha, the grossness of the body, if there's attraction to the body?
Now, what you call 32 parts of the body are not used for increasing our desire, nor do we practice them to increase our hatred. This is very delicate subject of meditation. As we mentioned several times in the past, some people, when they use them without mindfulness, can increase their lust. Others who also are not mindful, when they use these 32 parts, they begin to hate their body. I gave you 2 examples, 2 stories. One, when Sariputra's disciple increased his lust when he practiced mindfulness of the 32 parts of the body. And in the time of the Buddha, when some monks practicing mindfulness of the part of the body increased their hatred towards the body. And I told you a story repeated twice, once in Vinaya Pitaka, once in Samyutta Nikaya, that they, in both places it is reported that there were homicides and suicide. Some of them killed themselves and some of them killed others, so they kill each other because of the body to them is unattractive, repulsive, disgusting, so they hated the body. Both groups, that group as well as Sariputra's disciples, did not understand how to use the parts of the body impartially. In this Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta that I particularly selected, at the end you can see that these parts can be used impartially to develop equanimity. Because, for instance, head hair is neither beautiful nor ugly. The way we perceive it makes it beautiful or ugly. For instance, head hair, when you go to a hairdresser will first put some shampoo to get rid of this smell, so that she can get close to the hair. Otherwise, hair, of course, is very bad odor because of inside dirt builds up, and that has, I have not seen, but this is what I have heard. So they clean it, and then they use more shampoo to wash it, then comb it, wash with clean water and so forth, and then make the hair look very attractive. So you come home, eating your soup, one of those clean, beautiful hair falls into your soup. That instant you throw away the whole bowl of soup. 1 second when it was on the head, beautiful, attractive. Next second when it fell into the soup bowl, it is ugly. So this is the way people look at the hair, their perception. So we meditate on the hair and think this is neither beautiful nor ugly, but it is impermanent. It is not mine, I am not it, nor it is myself. Netang mama, neso hamasmi, nemeso atta. That way you develop your equanimity, neutral state of mind. And therefore, one who uses these 32 parts of the body must develop this kind of attitude while focusing mind on each part of the body. And then you will see them exactly as they are. Exactly as they are means that they are changing all the time. Just changing. That you, of course, cannot see right away, but they are changing. Eventually you can see them changed. So in this discourse we will discuss this a little further when we come to that particular section. The section that I mentioned earlier does not discuss all this, how to develop equanimity. But towards the end of the Dhatu Sutta, you can see that. Okay, next question.
Bhante, regarding the Vibhanga Sutta, how does one cultivate right self or right view in regards to self?
With regard to?
Self.
Huh?
With regard to self, how does one develop right view in regards to self?
With regard to self, how one develops right view. Self is a conventionally accepted term in order to communicate with each other, one another. Otherwise, it is not possible to cultivate what you call communicate. There is a communication agent. For instance, now I say, I speak, and you can say, I listen. I speak, you listen. So we use here I and you. My favorite simile is the day. Today is Sunday. We all have agreed to use this particular period of time, 24 hours, as Sunday. But have you seen Sunday? Have you smelled Sunday? Have you touched Sunday? Have you felt Sunday? No. Similarly, I is we use in order to make communication easy. In reality, there is no I. All these aggregates, when come together, we call it a being. And since we use a language, and we use this term to communicate with each other. Sammuti is convention. Without sammuti, we cannot discuss things with each other. Only as a sammuti, as a convention, we use it. That is the right view of self. Okay? Next question.
how does one identify that you have attained jhana or stream entry or any other higher level?
You want to know?
The person asking the question wants to know how they know if they've attained jhana, sotapanna, or any other higher level.
Okay. That was a good question. When you attain jhana, you know that your hindrances are all gone. No hindrance whatsoever. You don't feel sleepy. You don't have any particular greed for anything, to eat something, to smell something, to touch something, or to visit somewhere, and so forth. Don't have this. This is not completely eliminated, but temporarily they are suspended. Then you don't have hatred, you don't feel sleepy, drowsy, and you are not restless, and you have full confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, morality, and so forth. When these 5 hindrances are gone, these are called hindrances. You have 5 jhanic factors. You have initial thought, sustained thought, joy, happiness, and concentration. What is initial thought? Thought of letting go, nekkamma vitakka, and loving friendliness, avyapada vitakka, and compassion, avihimsa vitakka. These are the 3 wonderful, noble thoughts. Since you are practicing right concentration, these thoughts arise in your mind, and they are called initial thought, and they sustain, maintain during the period of your meditation. That's called sustained thought. And because of that you have a joy. That's called niramisa piti. Joy arising not through senses, but through the development of your mind. And then you have happiness. That also is called spiritual happiness, niramisa sukha. Then you have a degree of concentration, not very deep, but since you are cut off from all other external things, you have certain degree of concentration. Then you know that you are in the first jhana. If you attain the sotapanna, that is different. When you attain sotapanna, you know for sure your view of self. That's called sat kaya ditti. Your view that there is permanent self would be totally vanished from your mind. That you don't, from that time onward, you do not believe that there is self. Then you don't have doubt about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. You don't have doubt about mother, father, next life, this life, and no doubt about the benefit of giving, no doubt about the benefit of sacrificing, and so forth. You don't have doubt about all these things. And then you don't believe in the attainment of liberation by following rites and rituals. You just don't believe in them, in rites and rituals. Of course, you may do certain rites and rituals in order to conform with the convention. For instance, you bow down to the Buddha image, you bow down to elderly monks and nuns and parents, and so forth. You may offer flowers, light incense, and so forth, in order to continue your habitual good practice. But you don't believe by doing so you can attain enlightenment. By offering flowers, you cannot attain enlightenment. By offering lights, lighting lamps, you cannot attain enlightenment. And there are many other rituals that people perform in all tradition, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Jewish, and so forth. And none of them help us to attain liberation. so you don't have belief in them. So when you have overcome these three, what we call fetters, sanyojanas, you know for sure that you have attained the stream entry. Only you know. Nobody else knows. Okay? So these are two attainments. Jhanic attainment, you overcome hindrances temporarily, because when you come out of jhana, they will come back again. But when you attain extreme entry, once you have overcome these three fetters, they will never return again. Never. So one is a permanent destruction, other is temporary overcoming. When you attain jhana, you temporarily overcome hindrances only during that period. Okay, this is the difference. So I think it is good that you should not mix up these two. Attaining jhana is not attaining extreme entry. You can attain extreme entry without attaining jhana. But you cannot overcome hindrances without attaining jhana. Okay? Next question.
Bhante, what elements, if any, are of thinking and thoughts?
What elements taking in thoughts?
Can you please explain if thinking and thoughts that come and go in our mind are made up of elements?
Now, elements, okay. Vijnana dhatu. Vijnana dhatu can arise from all the elements. For instance, when we have earth element, we feel the hardness, solidity. That feeling of earth element, of solidity, hardness, is with consciousness. Because you have to be conscious to become aware of hardness or softness. So as soon as any of this, your mind feels any of these things, consciousness is there. So consciousness does not arise without elements. But there is no particular name for that. When consciousness arises through the eye, it is called eye consciousness. When it arises through the ear, that's called ear consciousness. Nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mind consciousness. They have names. And in each of these consciousness is, for instance, eye consciousness arises through the when visual objects and eye come in contact, eye consciousness arises. Now, without their coming to contact, eye consciousness does not arise. In that case, eye has earth element, water element, air element, fire element, space element, and consciousness element. Ear, nose, tongue, body, and so forth, they all have this. And when all these elements are there, as soon as they come into touch, consciousness arises. So consciousness arises not only one particular element, but when the senses are made up of elements, and therefore as soon as one comes in contact with any sensory object, consciousness arises. So consciousness arises together with all the elements. Okay?
Bhante, when something we see arises in eye consciousness, is it that same eye consciousness one time, or does it keep happening multiple times?
Multiple times, every time, I visual objects come in contact, eye consciousness arises. You, for instance, you have eye consciousness and blink your eyes. That eye consciousness is gone. When you open the eyes, then the object will come in contact with the eye consciousness arises. Similarly, every moment, eye consciousness arises when these two come together. What are the two? Eyes and visual object, ear and sound, nose and smell, tongue and taste, body and tangible, and the mind and mind object. When they come together, eye consciousness arises. Once they come and they don't stay there all the time, they disappear, then eye consciousness arises. That nothing is remaining the same, even for 2 consecutive moments. They are always changing.
Bhante, where are the latent tendencies and how do we root out or overcome them?
Where are the lay people?
Latent?
Latent tendencies. How to root out or overcome them. Okay. Latent tendencies are greed, anger and so forth. When desire arises, one pleasant object arises or is present, latent tendency, what you call greed, arises. In order to overcome that, we must practice mindfulness of impermanence, because everything is impermanent. When desire arises because of the pleasant object, we must understand this pleasant object is not something permanent. Desire that arose due to this pleasant sensation, pleasant object, is not permanent. So the way to overcome tendencies, latent tendencies, is to see impermanence. That is very clearly stated in Anatta Lakkana Sutta. Buddha said, and Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Mahasatipatthana Sutta says, I are pleasant, their desire arises, because we are not mindful of impermanence. And where desire arises, and there the desire can be overcome by seeing impermanence. So we have to see impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and selflessness to overcome any underlying tendency. Any tendency, latent tendency, underlying tendency, can be overcome only by seeing impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and selflessness. So we remembered there must always be 5 things present in our meditation. What are they? Samudaya Dhamma, Vaya Dhamma, then Asada, Adinava, Nissarana. Everything rises, falls, and while they are rising and falling, we enjoy. That is called asada. Asada. Whatever is rising and falling, although we are enjoying it, that is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and selfless. And we can let go of that particular desire. That is called Nissarana. So, in order to overcome underlying tendencies, we have to see these 5: rising, falling, enjoyment, danger, and abandoning. What is the danger? Danger is that it is impermanent, unsatisfactory and selfless. That is the danger. Without knowing the danger, we try to cling to it. And therefore, we must see these 5 factors of any experience. 5 factors are rising, falling, enjoyment, danger, and abandoning, disappearing. In Satipatthana Sutta, Samudaya Dhammanupassi, Vaya Dhammanupassi, Samudaya Vaya Dhammanupassi, rising, falling, rising and falling. Rising and falling is used to show the altering. That's called parinama. Parinama is altering, always altering, altering, altering. And viparinama. Viparinama dhamma. Parinama, viparinama. Viparinama means altering, changing. When we see these 3 things, we understand that there is no way that we can hold on to them, and then we let go. In Anapanasati Sutta we can see Aniccanupassi, Viraganupassi, Nirodhanupassi, Patnissaganupassi. 4 steps. Anicca, impermanent. What is anicca? Anicca means something rises and falls. Anicca means rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling. Is called anicca. Viraga means dispassion. When something rises and falls, there is no way to hold on to it, then the mind let it go, viraga. Then nirodha. Nirodha means cessation, ceasing. When something rises and falls, and then it ceases. Then patinissaggana means let it happen, let it go. Don't try to go after. Because once it is gone, it is gone. And therefore, letting go of all these things is possible when we see impermanence, dispassion, cessation and abandoning, or impermanence, unsatisfactoriness and selflessness. All these are tools for letting go of underlying tendency. Okay?
Bhante, someone asks, my family members are very angry and depressed. I trust that they will learn, but it also seems that I should help. How can I help wealthy Westerners see the Dhamma?
You see, in the first place, you have to develop your compassion for them, for they are being depressed. They are depressed because of their own various mental state, not successful, they have been sick, they have been abused, and they are not, they are weak, they don't understand. So many reasons can there be for them to be depressed. So we have to develop our compassion for them. And then trust the universe will teach them. I don't think the universe can teach them unless they themselves learn Dhamma. They all determined to learn Dhamma. Read Dhamma book. They must meditate, exercise, eat right kind of food. Don't get upset. Practice patience. These are things they have to practice. When they practice these things, then you also can help them by encouraging them to read very good Dhamma books and do meditation and exercise, at least walk every day. So these are things that you should ask them to do. So the Dhamma is so rich, very precious jewel, treasure. So you use Dhamma, your knowledge, your experience to help them. Cultivate your compassion, metta, patience, understanding, and then use Dhamma that you know and encourage them to read Dhamma books, listen to these days online, there are many Dhamma talks given by very good Dhamma teachers. Ask them to listen to them. There are so many ways of overcoming their depression. Okay, next question.
Bhante, is there any mention of the term convention or conventional in the suttas?
Yes, convention is called sammuti. Sammuti satya, conventional truth. Sometimes they call it, you have heard the word sammuti satya, paramatta satya. Sammuti satya means the conventional truth. Paramatta satya means eternal truth, which cannot be changed. Dhamma is eternally true. That is why it is called akalika Dhamma. Akalika Dhamma means Dhamma unaffected by time. Conventional truth can change from time to time. Sammuti satya. Sammuti is convention. Yes. These two terms are used in Dhamma.
Bhante, how do I come smoothly out of anapanasati meditation?
Come out of anapanasati meditation?
Yes, what's the best way to come out of anapanasati meditation?
Well, you just become unmindful.
I think they mean, how do I smoothly and mindfully exit my meditation?
You don't have to come out of anapanasati. Because it is so important, you must try to stay with that. Don't try to make some effort or learn way to get out of it. Even smoothly, don't get out of it. Most of the time people are not mindful. Therefore they are not practicing anapanasati all the time. Once you manage to get into that, don't try to get out of it. Try to stay with that. Don't ask me how to get out of it. I never ask anybody to. The Buddha never asked us to get out of it. Buddha asked us to get out of our defilements, our laziness, our unmindfulness. We get out of them. Don't get out of anapanasati. Yeah?
Bhante, how do I understand the difference between desire and determination? Say if I want to achieve the jhanas and get rid of mental formations, maybe that's due to curiosity. Is that a desire or determination?
Desire or discrimination. Okay. Discrimination is used in a wholesome way. Like in Dhamma Vicaya Sambodhanga. Dhamma Vicaya Sambodhanga. That is investigation of Dhamma when we investigate Dhamma, we must use discrimination. That means what is wholesome Dhamma and what is unwholesome Dhamma. So we have to discriminate wholesome from unwholesome, separate from wholesome from unwholesome. In this sense, discrimination is useful, and we use that, but not in other sense that in the society we find discrimination in the Dhamma. Now, so this is also mental formation, wholesome mental formation. One is wholesome, one is unwholesome. So you are asking, is that a desire or discrimination? It's a wholesome desire. Desire also has two kinds, wholesome desire and unwholesome desire. Unwholesome desire is a desire to perpetuate desire. Wholesome desire is a desire to be desireless. So this is discrimination in factors of enlightenment is wholesome desire. You want to make sure that you are practicing right meditation, a right kind of discrimination, and you get rid of unwholesome, wrong kind of practice. That's how we do the discrimination in that sense. Yes, another question.
Bhante, how do I know what is more important between studying or meditating or being in the present moment?
How do I know what?
When do I determine, or how do I determine what is more important, studying, meditating, or being in the present moment at each time?
Okay. Studying, meditating, and being in the present moment.
Yes, Bhante.
Yeah. Most important is being in the present moment. And that would become your meditation. In order to get more information to develop your meditation, you can study. So you may combine these three, and more important of all of them is being in the present moment. In the present moment. That becomes your meditation. Being in the present moment becomes your meditation. When you have doubt about meditation, either you can read or seek help from a qualified meditation teacher, whom we call Kalyana Mitra. Yeah. Any other easy question?
Those are all the current questions, Bhante. And we have 60 people on the chat. I'm sure we could get some more questions if we want them.
I think we have to have some time for meditation.
We do have a small question that just came in. And
which one?
This one. What would be the difference between discrimination and discernment?
Discrimination and discernment. Discernment and discrimination seems to be synonymous. I don't think there is a big difference between these two. Okay, friends, I'm sorry there are so many questions and we have limited time. We need some time to meditate as well. We spend only 30 minutes for the talk, but we spend a little more than that. One more thing I want to mention. That is on the 3rd of June, is a full moon day. And I have another Zoom talk. Somebody invited me to give a Zoom talk. That starts at 9 o'clock. Now, if you like to join that, I don't know how can we share this.
Is it going to be from a link that's given to you, or is it?
Yeah, they will send me a link on the 3rd itself.
We can post it on Facebook, Bhante.
Eh?
We can post it on Facebook.
Okay, we can paste it in the Facebook. Bhavana has Facebook?
Yes, Bhante. Bhavana Society of West Virginia.
Okay. So you go to Bhavana Society West Virginia Facebook and you can get the link. We can post it in the Facebook and you can join the talk because there are 3 commitments on that day. First is I had to give a ovada to bhikkhunis. There are 45 bhikkhunis. The second is to give this Zoom talk to these people on this full moon day. Third is my regular Dhamma talk. So I cannot do 3 things altogether. So I can do one and request all of you to join that. Okay? So I get some help. I don't know how to do all this by myself. I always get help. So prepare for that. That is, today is 21st, maybe 2 more Sundays to go. Okay.
Are you ready for the meditation, Bhante?
Yeah, we start meditation. Okay, friends, let us do some meditation. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere. Neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, or sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. Now let us do some meditation until I ring the little bell. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the foolish. May I join always with the wise until the time I attain Nibbana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, friends, this is the end of today's session, and we want to continue my regular wish metta wish. May all those who are suffering in hospitals taken care of by doctors, nurses, and hospital staff, may they all recover soon and attain, practice Dhamma and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all those who are doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs who are taking care of these people, may they continue their wonderful service and continue their Dhamma practice and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. And all those who are who have lost their loved ones and grief-stricken, may they all be relieved from their grief, continue Dhamma practice, and liberate from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in trouble spots in various places, in war zones, discriminations, poverty-stricken area, and so forth, may they all find peace, happiness, and find some solace and comfort, practice Dhamma, and liberate from samsaric suffering. May all those whose category I have not mentioned, all individuals, all living beings be well, happy and peaceful, and finally attain Nibbana. Okay?
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante.
Everyone saranai. Everyone saranai, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Everyone saranai.
Everyone saranai.
Everyone saranai, sadhu, sir.
Thank you, Bhante G.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Bye, Bhante. Good night to you.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Dear Bhante.